Zion National Park is the busiest park in Utah and the second busiest national park in the entire country. Last year, Zion saw over 5 million visitors, and despite the popularity of this place, I managed to get a campsite here in the park for 3 consecutive nights during peak visitor season. Getting out here to Utah was a little bit more challenging than I anticipated, but I made it. I'm here and I'm only about an hour outside of Zion National Park, so let's go. The roads here are kind of rough, but this is officially the road to Zion. And I will pretty soon be going through the iconic Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel, which should be pretty impressive to see as my first official view of the park. There's so much to see here, but first I'm heading over to the Watchman Campground, which will be my home base for the next 4 days here in the park. Even though there's not a whole lot of privacy, I feel incredibly lucky to have gotten this spot, because it makes accessing the park extremely convenient. But this park is popular for a good reason. Actually, a couple of good reasons, and there are 3 of them that brought me here in particular. My ideal visit to Zion includes hiking the Emerald Pools Trail, wading up the Narrows, and of course, climbing Angel's Landing. And hopefully I can also enjoy some time here at the campground when I'm not out on the trail. But for now, I'm still working remotely from the road, so I'm heading just over the river into the town of Springdale in search of some Wi-Fi and something to eat. Came into Springdale for some dinner, and I just had a really nice conversation with a new subscriber. Jen, if you're watching this, hello. Thank you. The pretzel sticks were so delicious. And I'm excited to see more of Zion tomorrow. I spent a lot of this morning here at the campground, kind of just taking it in, but it is actually past noon now, so I am gonna head over to the shuttle stop and head into Zion Canyon. The park has a fairly robust shuttle system with only 2 lines. The Zion Canyon line, which heads north up into the park, and the Springdale line, which takes passengers south into town. So I'm taking this bus into the canyon and heading to the Emerald Pools Trail. This trail is named for the 3 ephemeral pools that cascade down into one another on different levels of the canyon. I'm starting here at the lower pool before hiking to the middle and upper pools that feed into it. But like I mentioned earlier, this is the second most popular national park in the United States. So despite all the incredibly unique landscapes, plants, and animals here, there are also a lot of visitors who may not be as familiar with some of the rules of the outdoors, and some who don't seem to care about following them at all. Dude, this f***ing lady, man. Her kids are feeding the squirrels and they've littered the entire place with orange peels. Look at these fucking peels. Some of these kids like built a dam with the orange peels, bro. I literally found more. Oh my god. So annoying. And now you think you're gonna get food, but you're not. And please don't bite me, because you can smell the oranges. I can tell. Bro, I did not think this would be so frustrating. She was worse than the kids, too. Like, the kids don't know any better, but she was not only not correcting them, she was also feeding the animal, littering. And when I called her out on it, she was like, geez. I'm like, are you 5? What's happening? I promise this isn't just me overreacting. There are signs all over the park explicitly warning people not to feed the squirrels because they bite. They've become too used to people, and we've taken that wildness away from them. Okay, well that was probably enough excitement for the day. I'm no longer quite so worked up, but I'm gonna take these orange peels down to Zion Lodge, throw them away, and then have something to eat. And as if to prove my point, even dinner was interrupted by a particularly brave member of the local wildlife. Oh my god. So, I'm kind of having a bad day. I left the van at 7 this morning to go do some laundry. Then I found out the shuttles don't run into Springdale until 8 a.m. So, I walked over a mile with all of this shit to find that the only laundromat listed on Google Maps in town is closed. Thank God there is a hotel, or the Bumbleberry Inn, that has laundry facilities that they let the public use. Brought my laptop with me to work at this coffee shop nearby. That ended up taking so long. I did not film any of it, but I'm finally back to the van, and it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. I was supposed to go to the Narrows this morning, so I'm just kind of pissed. But I'm gonna put my laundry away, get myself situated, and then go back into town to reserve another set of gear for the Narrows since I didn't go today. Okay, so I got my Narrows gear. It's all in that bag. But I forgot to mention another reason I was so distraught earlier is because when I was on the bus, I realized I left one of my AirPods in the laundry room. So I'm gonna go collect that now. There it is! What the heck? Dude. Okay. Feel a lot better having retrieved that, and now I'm gonna head back over to the campground. Even though today was kind of chaotic, I feel excited about tomorrow, doing the Narrows. I think it's going to be a really great way to end my time here in Zion. Angel's Landing, unfortunately, wasn't going to happen because I did not get any permits to go up to the chain section, and I should also kind of save my energy for some of the more strenuous hikes I have coming up in the next few days. But I'm gonna head to bed so I can try to catch the first bus into the park tomorrow. Alright, here's the carnage. So I'm just gonna do these dishes real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna put all this stuff away and head over to the trail. This is already amazing. The Narrows is one of the most famous slot canyons in the world, created by repeated flooding of the Virgin River that runs through it. Snowmelt from the nearby mountains feeds into the river, and depending on the season, this trail can become too flooded to hike. Whoa. Okay. We are at knee height. I honestly feel like this is better than whatever Angel's Landing could have been. But as the water got deeper and the current got stronger, the inevitable happened, and I went for an unexpected swim in the river. So I fell in, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of nice. This is easily one of my favorite places I've ever been. There was something hypnotizing about standing in the shadow of something much older and bigger than myself, while watching the water actively carving into the walls to create shapes that won't appear until long after I'm gone. Okay, I made it. I'm here at Floating Rock, which is technically kind of the end of the trail. Can continue up further, but I do kind of need to get back to the van and return this gear. So I'm gonna hang out here for a bit, have some goldfish, and then head back the way I came. Despite how amazing this place is, I can't help but leave Zion feeling incomplete, knowing that ultimately I'm driving away from the park without checking off my final goal of climbing Angel's Landing. So now I am finally headed to Bryce Canyon, but I will definitely be sad to leave this park. So hopefully someday I can come back and maybe even do Angel's Landing. But for now, Utah has plenty more interesting things for me to see as I make my way across the state and into the remaining 4 national parks on this trip.